Leading off for the Braves, the center fielder, number 4, Peyton Bird. Batting second, the shortstop, number 7, J.D. Swarber. Batting third at third base, number 34, Dan Blicky. Batting fourth in right field, number 39, Connor Gibble. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 17, Frank Levin. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 2, Josh Cunningham. Batting seventh at first base, number 6, Trent Flores. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 15, Lewis Barber. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 29, Nick Serra. On the mound for the Braves, number 25, Nick Tinajero. Managing the Braves for Game 1, Chris Whitter. And now, the starting lineup for your Green Bay Blue Ribbons. Leading off for the Blue Ribbons, the second baseman, number 2, Aiden Conley. Batting second, the center fielder, number 23, Trevor Vanderheim. Batting third, the catcher, number 25, Brian Gerbers. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 20, Boone Kurtz. Batting fifth at first base, number 7, James Bornick. Batting sixth in left field, number 19, Wilson Zuck. Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 5, Eason Hurd. Batting eighth at third base, number 27, Milo Upton. And batting ninth, the right fielder, number 16, Sawyer Larson. On the mound for the Blue Ribbons for Game 1, number 34, Owen Depre. The Blue Ribbons are managed by Hayden Price and assisted by Brian Price, Bill Morgan, Brett Lippin, and Liam Jones. As we honor our country with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you.
All right, Blue Ribbons fans, you know what that means. It's time for Blue Ribbons Baseball. Good evening, fans, and welcome to an early edition of Blue Ribbons Baseball starting at 11:30 7:30 today. The game was pushed up due to the expected rain that we will have later in the day. Ribbons hopefully looking to get through 2 games and try to finish this series against the Addison Braves. Outfield lineup for the Ribbons looks like this. Wilson Zuck in left, Trevor Vandehei in center. Over in right will be Sawyer Larson. At third, Milo Upton. Short will be Eason Hurd. At second base will be Peyton Conley. At first will be James Bornick. Brian Gerbers behind the dish. And rounding on the mound for the Ribbons will be their ace, Owen Depry. Lineup looks like this for the Braves. Batting first will be Peyton Berg. Batting second, did great in the 2-hole yesterday, will be J.D. Swarbrick. Batting third, Dan Blickman. Batting fourth will be Connor Gabor. Batting fifth, Frank Lavin. Batting sixth, Josh Conniff. Batting seventh, Trent Lawrence. Batting eighth will be Louis Barbour. And rounding out the order will be Nick Surred. We're just about to get this game started. One thing that you may have noticed, probably didn't, is that the manager of the Addison Braves is currently not in their dugout, as he will be serving a 1-game suspension after getting thrown out after the conclusion of Game 2. So that'll be fouled back to the net. So he will be sitting out Game 1 here before returning for Game 2. The 0-1 is going to be high for a ball. Depry ready on the mound. Here's the pitch to Berg. That'll be high for ball 2. Berg yesterday didn't have too bad of a night, as that pitch will be high for ball 3. Berg drew a walk in the first of Game 1, flew out to left, and then had that weird bunt thing where it is believed he stepped out of the box and then was touched by the ball. In Game 2, Berg walked and came around to score in the first, grounded out to catcher, as he'll draw a walk here. He then struck out swinging in the 4th and grounded out to third in the 6th. But this will bring up J.D. Swarbrick. Going back, Swarbrick in Game 1 started off hot with a triple. Eventually came around to score. Struck out swinging in the 2nd. Flew out to first in the 4th, and then flew out to right to end Game 1. Swarbrick then came back in Game 2. A single eventually came around to score in the 1st, reached on an error and kept coming around to score in the 2nd. Struck out swinging in the 3rd, hit a sac fly in the 5th, and then flew out to right to end the game. Swarbrick currently finds himself in a 1-1. All Addison players were able to reach yesterday. Not in both games, as this will be a pop-up foul and out of play. Miles Foy wasn't able to reach in Game 1. But besides that, every Brave reached. The only one not to do it in both games was Miles Foy. The 1-2. That'll be liner towards right. Larson underneath it. He'll make the catch for out number 1. This will bring up Dan Blickman. Blickman in Game 1 had a single and came around to score in the 1st. Struck out swinging in the 3rd and then struck out looking in the 5th. In Game 2 of yesterday's doubleheader, Blickman walked and came around to score in the first, walked in the second, walked in the third, and then struck out looking in his only recorded at-bat. That'll be in there for a strike. Deppery has him at 1-1. Taking off. Throw is going to be in time to get him. Gerbers catching him on the caught, stealing, as now it'll be bases empty. It will be a 2-1 count. I was going to mention that Berg had a very interesting lead. He was kind of swaying. That'll be in there for strike 2. Count now 2-2. Deppery now trying to make this a 1-2-3 inning. As he comes set, here's the pitch. Foul back to the net. So far today, 82 degrees, sunny. As of now, it's a beautiful day for baseball, but as we mentioned earlier, that will change. Rain expected in the forecast for, I believe, all of northeast Wisconsin. It won't hit everyone at once, but it will come in waves, I believe. So, not a great day for baseball when it turns to about 4 o'clock, as this will hit to left, because that will be a single for Dan Blickman. This will bring up the beer batter here in the first inning. It will be Connor Gabor. Gabor, in Game 1 of yesterday's games, reached on an error in the first, struck out swinging in the third, and then struck out swinging in the fifth. In Game 2, was hit by a pitch and came around to score in the first, had a single in the second, and then struck out swinging in the third. He then lined out to second in the sixth to end his night. So having 3 strikeouts yesterday is what will lead him to be the beer batter today. He'll swing and miss here. Fans trying to get buy one, get one free beer here in the first. Game still young. The 0-2 from Deppery. Salvia line fouling out of play. Gabor stepping into the box. Deppery finds his sign. Here's the 0-2. As that will miss. That will miss the zone for a ball. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and the inning is over. But more importantly, buy one, get one free PBR at the concession stand if you are in attendance. That will do it here for the top of the first. We'll see if the Blue Ribbons can get something started early as we head to the bottom of the first. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the first here at Joannes Park. Peyton Conley will lead it off for the Ribbons. Following up, Trevor Vandehei, Brian Gerbers. In the 4 slot, Boone Kirst. Batting 5th, James Bornick. In the 6th hole will be Wilson Zuck. Batting 7th, Easton Hurd. 8 will be Milo Upton. And rounding out the order will be Sawyer Larson. First pitch will miss the zone for a ball. Conley made appearances in both games yesterday. So here's the 1-0. So that'll skip in the dirt for ball 2. Conley not having a bad night. Reaching base twice in both games. As this will be popped up towards left. Camping underneath it will be the left fielder Frank Lavin, as he'll make the catch for out number 1.
Now batting the center fielder, number 23, Trevor Vandehei.
1 down now for Trevor Vandehei. Vandehei steps into the box. On the mound for the Braves is Nick Tinajero. As Vandehei will stare at strike 1. Tinajero already on the mound. Here's the pitch. As that will miss the zone for a ball. Vandehei ready in the box. Here's the pitch. Skips in the dirt for a ball. Vandehei taking a little extra time here. Tinajero shakes a few pitches off. Now finds the one he wants. Here's the 2-1. That'll foul off Vandehei. As the ball will bounce perfectly to Brian Gerbers in the on-deck circle. Two-two, Vandehei at the dish. Tinajero now finds the pitch he wants. Here's the 2-2. That'll be high for ball 3. Count is now full. Vandehei looking for someone or something he can smack. As here comes the 3-2. Swung on and missed. Gets in the dirt. The throw to first will be in time to get him. As there are now 2 down for the catcher, Brian Gerbers. Gerbers, as we mentioned, catching behind the dish today, was playing center field yesterday as the Ribbons were short-staffed. In game 1, reaching base 3 times, 1 on an error and the other 2 on walks. As that'll be fouled back to the net. Had a better game 2 as he hit a home run in the 3rd. And then had a single in the 6th, flying out to second the other 2 at-bats. So a 2-for-4 game 2 for Brian Gerbers. As he tries to check his swing, but he went. Count 0-2 to the catcher. Tinajero coming set. Here's the 0-2. That'll be outside, but in the zone for strike 3, and the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down here for the Ribbons in the bottom of the first. As we head to the second, you're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Top of the second here at Joannes Park. Frank Lavin will be the first batter here for the Braves. Josh Conniff and Trent Lawrence will be due up after, as I'm going to believe that came off of Boone Kirst. So that will be a foul ball. Lavin didn't have a great game one for the Braves, only reaching base on a walk in the sixth. But he really turned it around in game two, showing both his power and speed, as he hit a double in the first, as this will be pop foul and out of play. Deppery ready on the mound. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fouled off back to the net. Brett Whiffen getting a little bit of a workout in, as he had to pick up the last two. The pitch to Lavin will be inside for a ball. Lavin playing left field for the Braves. As here comes the 1-2. Foul tip. Gerbers coming back to the plate. Deppery ready on the mound. Here comes the 1-2. That'll be line foul and out of play. Lavin ready in the box. Deppery trying to retire him. Here's the pitch. High for ball two. Two, nobody out. Deppery ready, here it is. That will miss high for ball three. Count now full. Deppery ready. The pitch. High and away for ball four. As the lead runner will reach base for the Braves for the second inning in a row, both via the walk. Josh Conniff will be the batter here. Conniff, the catcher for the Braves, as he'll stare at strike one. Depre coming set on the mound. Here's the 0-1. As that will get away. Gerber's not letting it go too far, as the count will go to 1-1. Depre ready, the pitch to Conniff. In there for strike two. Depre looking for just his second strikeout. As here's the 1-2 pitch. Check swing, stays fair. Tap on second for one, or 1 for 1, and then over to second for the double play. Not a common double play. Well, that will be a 3-6 double play to get both Frank Lavin and Josh Conniff. More importantly, it makes it 2 down for Trent Lawrence. First pitch will be in there for strike one. Lawrence playing first base for the Braves. As here's the 0-1 pitch. That'll be in there for strike two. Depre ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. In there, strike three, looking, and the inning is over. A 1-2-3 inning here in the second, as it remains 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the second here at Joannes Park. Boone Kirst, James Bornick, and Wilson Zuck. Those are going to be your due up for the Ribbons here in the bottom of the second. Kirst DHing here in game one. He caught and DH'd in the games yesterday. As he'll foul this one off. Zooming right past James Bornick. As Bornick will throw the ball in immediately. Tina Jarrow ready on the mound. The 0-1 will be high for a ball. Kirst hoping to get something started here for the Ribbons. As here's the 1-1. As that'll be fouled into the net. Curse going for a leisurely stroll before heading back to the box. Count is 1-2. Tina Jarrow gets his sign. Here's the pitch. As that'll be fouled back to the net. Kirst fighting at the dish. One, two, nobody on. Here is the pitch to Boone Kirst. So that'll be fouled off. Towards the Braves dugout. As Kirst once again going to take a little extra time getting back to the box. Tina Jarrow finds the pitch he wants. Here's the 1-2. Low and away for ball 2. The DH stepping into the box. Here's the 2-2. So that'll be grounded foul towards the Ribbons dugout. Pitching coach Brett Whiffen making a good stop over there. Count will remain 2-2. Kirst now ready in the box. Nick Tina Jarrow now coming set. Here's the pitch. High for ball 3. Count is now full to Kirst. Three-two, nobody out. Here's the pitch. As that'll be blooped towards left center, and it will get down for a base hit. Kirst will find himself over at first base with a single. As that will bring up James Bornick.
Now batting first base, number 7, James Bornick.
Bornick in game 1 struck out to end the first inning, grounded out to first in the third, single and came around to score in the 5th, and then walked in the 6th. He would only get one at bat in game 2, where it was a fly out to center. The official ruling on that was it was a coach's decision. He did have a minor collision with the catcher. I believe it was Dimitri Edmonds for game 2. As that pitch will be inside for ball 2. Count is 2-0 to Bornick. Kirst taking his lead over at first, the 2-0. Swung on and missed for a strike. Bornick playing his usual position at first base. Here comes the 2-1. That's a high fly ball towards right, giving chase, but he won't have a chance. It will land foul. So just right of the pole. As Bornick will now head back to the box. Didn't miss it by much. As he finds himself with a 2-2 count now. Wind not really helping him out, blowing towards dead center. Here's the 2-2. Popped him up. The shortstop, DJ Swarbrick, calling for it and making the catch for out number 1. This will bring up Wilson Zuck. Zuck had a pretty good night last night. In game 1, reached base twice. And then in game 2, was able to reach another 3 times. One on a walk. So find himself on base. Throw to first will be not in time. First pitch to Zuck will be low but in the zone for strike 1. Tinajero ready on the mound. The 0-1. Inside for a ball. Zuck was seeing the ball well yesterday and seeing it well again today, and you could see everything well with Cherry Optical Lab. See the difference. Glasses, eye exams, contacts. They do it all with Cherry Optical Lab. The 1-1 to Wilson Zuck will be popped towards right field. Calling for it and not able to make the catch. Throw to second will still be in time, so there will be an out. As Zuck will reach on the error, but Boom Kirst will find himself out. As there are now 2 down for Eason Hurd. Tough one there for Kirst. Went back like you should. But the second baseman, Louis Barbeau, just not able to make the catch. So here's the 0-1 to Hurd. As that'll be high and away for a ball. Hurd playing short for the Ribbons today. Did not play in either Game 1 or Game 2 in yesterday's games. As here comes the 1-1. Zell skipping the dirt. Keeping it in front of him is the catcher, Conniff. As Hurd will head back to the box. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Eason Hurd. As that'll be a shot towards center. Giving chase and able to camp underneath it is Peyton Berg. As he'll make the catch for out number 3. Ribbons don't get any across here in the second. As we head to the third, we're tied at 0. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Top of the third here at Joannes Park. Braves will sing up Louis Barbeau, Nick Sered, and Peyton Berg. Line scores looking quite the same between the Ribbons and the Braves. As the first pitch will skip in the dirt for a ball. Louis Barbeau making appearances in both Game 1 and Game 2 of yesterday's doubleheader. As he'll stare at ball 2 here. Barbeau was the DH in Game 1, striking out twice and walking once. And then in Game 2, acted as the pitcher, the starting pitcher. And eventually getting hit with the no decision. As he was not the starting pitcher. Alex Cardoza was the starting pitcher. He came in second and will get the loss. Will be handed the loss. 3-0 is low for ball 4. As for the first 3 innings of this game, Depre walks the lead batter. This will break up bottom of the order Nick Sered. Sered did play in Game 2, where he struck out twice and then walked and came around to score once. He'll square around a bunt. Big pop-up, not able to make the play as it almost lands in the Braves' dugout. Count is now 0-1. Depre looks for his sign. Finds the one he wants. Here's the pitch. That'll be high for a ball. Louis Barbeau taking a decent-sized lead over at first. As here comes the 1-1 from Depre. Squaring around a bunt, pulls it back. Throw is going to not happen. Gerber's faking the throw over to first. Pitch was a ball, so the count goes to 2-1. Gerbers was showing off his arm in the first. This will be squared around. Depre has it. Throw to second for 1. Over to first. Not in time. Ribbons will get the lead runner on the fielder's choice. As Nick Sered will find himself at first after legging that one out. This will bring up Peyton Berg. Berg drew a walk first time he was up. As this will get past Gerbers. Heading to second will be Nick Sered. Now a runner in scoring position. Gerber is wanting to swap balls. As the count is now 1-0. Second time through the order now for the Braves. As the 1-0 will be high and outside for ball 2. Depre comes set. Here is the 2-0 pitch. This is a high fly ball towards left, giving chase, but all he can do is watch it as this ball will get out of here for a 2-run shot. A 2-run home run for Peyton Berg will give Addison the early lead. It will also give Owen Depre the first runs he's given up in the WSL this year. Coming into today's games, Depre had a 0 ERA for both the New Bowl and WSL. It will still stand for the WSL, but obviously for the New Bowl, that will change. Throw is going to be in time to get J.D. Swarbrick. So that'll be a 6-3 put out for out number 2, and that will also bring up Dan Blickman. Blickman flew out to right last time he was up. First pitch to Blickman will be inside and low for a ball. Depre ready, the 1-0. As this will be popped up. Bornick going to give chase, but this will end up in the stands. Count now goes to 1-1. As here's the pitch to Blickman. Be pop foul and out of play. Count now 1-2. Depre ready on the mound. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Blickman. As that will miss the zone for a ball. Count is 2-2. Blickman ready. The pitch from Depre. This will be popped up. Bornick camping underneath it. He'll make the catch for out number 3. 2 runs come across here in the top of the third. We'll see how the Ribbons respond. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Milo Upton coming to the plate for the Ribbons. Sawyer Larson and Peyton Conley, those are your due up here in the bottom of the third. The first pitch to Upton will be in there for a strike. Upton didn't have a bad night yesterday, as he did not play in Game 1 of the doubleheader. But in Game 2, reached base twice, as he'll pop up foul and out of play. When he got a single in the second and the third. Count is now 0-2 to Upton, as he's trying to get something started here so that the Ribbons can respond after giving up 2 in the top half of the frame. This will be lined towards right, hooking foul, and it will land in foul territory. Upton staying alive here. Upton ready in the box. Tina Jarrow now coming set. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Upton going to head to first. The throw will be in time to get him. This will bring up Sawyer Larson. Larson playing right field here in game 1. Larson played in game 2 yesterday, reaching base only once in the 7th, but eventually coming around to score, as his score was huge, as it was the walk-off score, as the Ribbons won 10-9. The 0-1 to Larson. We'll skip in the dirt for a ball. Larson ready in the box. As here comes the 1-1 from Tina Jarrow. That will skip in the dirt for ball 2. Larson looking for one to drive here. As he steps into the box. Still awaiting the pitch, but he won't have to wait long. Here it is. High, but in the zone. Count is 2-2. Larson looking for something here. Here's the pitch. That'll be fouled back to the net. Larson staying alive. Peyton Conley in the on-deck circle. We'll see him no matter what. As here comes the 2-2. That will skip in the dirt for ball 3. Sawyer looking to draw a walk. Three, 2, 1 out. Larson battling at the plate. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. As that'll be inside the strike zone for ball 4. For strike 3. As there are now 2 down for Peyton Conley. Conley in the box. Last time up, flew out to left. As he's trying to avoid the Ribbons going 1-2-3 for the second time today. Here's the 1-0. Low for ball 2. Conley ready at the dish. As here comes the 2-0 from Tina Jarrow. That'll be high and outside, but in the zone for strike 1. Tina Jarrow now ready on the mound. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. High fly ball towards center. Able to get underneath it is Peyton Berg as he'll make the catch for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 3rd. It's 2-0 Braves as we head to the 4th. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Top of the fourth here at Joannes Park. The beer batter, Connor Gabor, then Frank Lavin and Josh Conniff. Those are your due up for the Addison Braves. Depry was able to make the fans happy in the first inning, as Gabor will stare at strike one. So here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed for strike two. Hoping to do it again here. Here's the 0-2 from Depry. Swung on and missed, strike three. Buy one, get one free. PBR at the concession stand. As this will bring up Frank Lavin. I was talking with PA announcer Nick Whitwer before the game, as the beer batter was having kind of a bad stretch there over the last 3 games, going 1 for 9. But today, already going 2 for 2. First pitch to Lavin was a ball. As here comes the 1-0 from Owen Depry. Skips low again, gets past Gerbers. Gerbers not blocking the ball well here early in the game. As here's the 2-0. In there for a strike. Got him at 2-1. Depry ready. Here's the 2-1 pitch. High and away for ball 3. Frank Lavin trying to draw a walk for the second time today. Here comes the 3-1. This will be pop foul, as it will head out of play. Count is now full to Lavin. Three, 2, 1 out. Lavin ready, the pitch. As that'll be a line right to the shortstop, Easton Hurd. As there is now 2 down for Josh Conniff. Conniff catching here in game 1. Hit into that double play in the second. Depry comes set. First pitch is going to be popped towards second. Getting a bad jump on it was the second baseman, Peyton Conley, but Sawyer Larson able to come through and make the play. It's going to be a 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the 4th. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, you're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. bottom of the fourth here at Joannes Park. Trevor Vandehei, Brian Gerbers, Boone Kirst. Those are your due up here for the Green Bay Blue Ribbons. Turn on my mic a little early here, as warming up is still Nick Tinagero. No one warming up on either side, as both sides are hoping their starter can go the full 7.
Leading off for the Blue Ribbons, number 23, Trevor Vandehei.
Braves currently lead 2-0, as the Ribbons are trying to cut into that lead. They're going to start with Trevor Vandehei. Ribbons currently with only 1 hit, and that was from Boone Kirst in the 2nd inning, as Vandehei will stare at strike 1. Vandehei struck out swinging in the first, worked a full count, but was unable to either draw the walk or get anything done, as that will be fouled off for strike 2. Count is 0-2. Vandehei ready. Here's the pitch, as that'll be high for a ball. Count is 1-2. Vandehei ready. Here's the pitch. That'll be in there for strike 3, as Vandehei is sent packing once again. And this will bring up Brian Gerbers.
Number 25, Brian Gerbers.
Brian Gerbers stepping into the box. First pitch to him is going to skip in the dirt for a ball. Gerber struck out looking to end the first. Tinagero coming set on the mound. Here's the 1-0. That'll be grounded foul. Close over there at first, but Gerbers will have to head back to the box. 1-1, 1 out. Gerbers ready. Here's the pitch, as that will be in there for strike 2. Gerber is going to take a little bit of a timeout here. The 1-2 from Tinagero. It's going to be popped up in between right and second base. Making the catch will be the right fielder, Connor Gabor, as there are now 2 down for Boone Kirst. Kirst, the only Ribbon so far with a hit. Kirst battled at the plate to get that hit too, fouling off quite a few pitches and working a full count. This pitch will be outside for ball 1. No one warming up in either arm barn, so we can expect Owen Depry to come back out in the 4th. And unless Tinagero starts to get into trouble here, we can expect that he will most likely return in the 5th. The 2-0. We'll skip in the dirt for ball 3. Three-0. Kirst ready. Here's the pitch. As that'll be in there for a strike. Kirst started walking down to first, but he'll head back to the box. The 3-1. As that'll be lined up the middle, base hit. Kirst will head on down to first base as he'll trot in with a single. This will bring up James Bornick. Bornick missed a home run in the 2nd inning by mere feet. Bornick now ready in the box. First pitch to him is going to be in there for a strike. And after almost hitting a home run, he would eventually pop out to the shortstop. The 0-1. As it'll be fouled off his check swing. Count now 0-2. Bornick in the box. Tinajero set. Here is the 0-2 pitch. As that'll be line foul and out of play. Bornick stretching out a little bit here. As Tinajero gets a new baseball, and he'll step into the box. Count remains 0-2. Tinajero shaking a few pitches off. Here is the pitch. Inside for a ball. Bornick looking to battle at the dish. As he awaits his 1-2. So that'll be pop foul and out of play. Still battling. 1-2, 2 outs. Runner at first is Boone Kirst. As here comes the pitch. High fly ball to right, once again foul. This one a little more foul than the last. So Bornick keeps battling at the dish. Tinajero. Still looking for his sign, now is coming set. The 1-2. Strike 3 looking, and the inning is over. Ribbons don't get any across here in the 4th. As we head to the 5th, it's still 2-0 Braves. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Top of the fifth here at Joannes Park. Trent Lawrence, Louis Barbour, and Nick Sered. Those are your due up for the Addison Braves. Bottom three of the order, as that will skip in the dirt for a ball. Lawrence struck out looking in the second. Depre with the 1-0. Swung on and missed for a strike. Lawrence makes his way back to the box. As here comes the 1-1. Swung on and missed for a strike. Count now 1-2 to Lawrence. As this will be popped up, foul and out of play. Count remains 1-2. The pitch will be high for a ball. Count is 2-2. Depre ready on the mound to pitch. That'll be fouled off. Count will remain 2-2. I do not have the pitch count on me, but Depre having to throw a lot of pitches today as the Braves battling at the dish. Count is 3-2. Pitch from Depre. Swung on and missed, strike three. One down for Louis Barbour.
Now batting number 15, Louis Barbour.
Barbour walked in the third. He was out on a fielder's choice by Nick Sered. That'll be swung on and missed for strike one. Depre hoping to get the bottom of the order out here in the fifth before having to face Peyton Berg. He would be the next batter after the three due up. Here's the 1-1. And there for a strike. Count is 1-2. Depre finds his sign. Here's the pitch. Way outside. Looked like the ball slipped out of his hand. And then it slips out of Gerber's glove. Gerber's having a tough time keeping the ball in the glove today, as that'll be foul and out of play. We'll see if that affects the team and him for game 2, or if he is selected as the catcher. As here's the 2-2. Inside for ball 3. Count now full to Louis Barbour. Zelby line back to the net. Count remains full. 3-2, 1 out. Depre now ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 2 down as Nick Sered will come to the dish.
Now batting number 29, Nick Sered.
Sered reached on the fielder's choice back in the third. Worked out well for him as he was able to leg out and reach first giving Peyton Berg a 2-run blast and making this a 2-0 ball game. 0-1 is going to miss the zone for a ball. Count now 1-1. Depre ready. Here's the pitch. As that will be low for ball 2. Sirid ready at the dish. Here's the pitch. Selby pop fouling out of play. Count now at a 2-2. Depre trying to get out of this inning before he has to face Peyton Berg. 2-2, 2 outs. He's ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 looking, and the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts for Owen Depre. And that will do it here in the top of the 5th as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Braves still lead by 2. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 5th here at Joannes Park. Wilson Zuck, Eason Hurd, Milo Upton. Those are your due up for the Ribbons. 7-inning games here as it is a doubleheader today. First pitch to Upton. He's going to be in there for a strike. Sorry, that's Wilson Zuck. As here is the 0-1. As that'll be lined towards right. It's high and deep, but not deep enough as the right fielder, Connor Gabor, will make the catch. As there's now 1 down for Eason Hurd. Hurd so far today flew out to center in the 2nd. As we mentioned, only 2 hits for the Ribbons. And they were both from Boone Kirst. So the Ribbons not stringing anything together. Pitcher has not walked or hit anybody today. So the only player to reach base is Boone Kirst and then Wilson Zuck on the fly ball fielder's choice. Mishap. It didn't go down as an error, as this will be a base hit towards center. Throw is going to be not in time to get him. As I stand corrected right away, and I'm happy about it. Runner at first, Milo Upton at the dish. Just the third hit of the ball game for the Ribbons, which is still more than the Braves. But the Braves made their 2 hits count. As this will be a liner towards left, a base hit. Rounding second, heading for third is Hurd, as he will stop at third. Throw to second is going to be in time, but no tag was applied, as it will now be runners at second and third with the Milo Upton double. This will bring up Sawyer Larson. Ribbons now a single away from tying up this ball game, as they'll rely on the bat of Sawyer Larson to do it. Larson, the hero yesterday, as he came around to score off of the wild pitch to end the second game. He'll pop this one up here. Blickman making the catch. I'm sorry, that's Swarbrick making the catch over at short. Is now Peyton Conley looking to do some damage here. Ribbons need 2. They do have a few innings to do it, but it would be better to do it now. First pitch to Conley is going to be in there for a strike. Ribbons finally get 2 hits back-to-back, as now they're trying to capitalize. The 0-1. Outside for a ball. Conley ready at the dish. Here's the 1-1 pitch. As that'll be lined towards left center, a base hit. Rounding third, heading for home. The throw isn't gonna happen, and this game is tied. 2-2 ball game here in the 5th. As this will bring up Trevor Vandehei. Vandehei earlier this year had a pretty good hot streak going. As coming to have a chat is going to be the stand-in manager, as we mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast. The manager for the Braves got ejected after Game 2 had ended and is serving his 1-game suspension now. He will be around for Game 2, but is serving his suspension. Did not appeal. As now Trevor Vandehei hoping to keep things going. 2-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 5th. Vandehei stepping into the box. Conley over at first. First pitch to Vandehei. Will be high and in for a ball. Boone Kirst currently sitting in the hole. So Vandehei and Gerbers would both have to reach. As the count goes to 1-1. As the ball hit the knob of the bat. Vandehei ready. Here's the pitch. Low and away for ball 2. Vandehei has struck out twice this game. once swinging in the first and once looking in the fourth. Here's the 2-1. Checking the runner at first. He's back in time. Count remains 2-1. Here's the pitch. Zalby popped up towards right. Underneath it is the right fielder, Connor Gabor, as he'll make the catch for out number 3. But Ribbons tie it up here in the 5th as we head to the 6th. It's 2-2. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Two ball game here in the 6th. Ribbons able to string some hits together in the bottom of the 5th and tie this game up. Peyton Berg will stare at strike 1. I was going to say the reason it's not a 2-0 ball game, standing at the plate right now. He hit a 2-run blast in the 3rd as he'll foul this one into the stands. Count now 0-2 to Berg. Walked in the 1st and was caught stealing. But that 2-run blast, the reason this game is tied. The 0-2. So this will be popped towards right center. Larson calling for it. He'll make the catch for out number 1. As this will bring up J.D. Swarbrick. Swarbrick so far today flew out to right in the 1st and then grounded out to short in the 3rd. But as we saw yesterday, Swarbrick has speed, agility, and a little power behind his bat as he was able to get a triple. Here's the 0-1. Low in the dirt for a ball. Deppery ready. Here's the 1-1. Outside for a ball. Swarbrick ready in the box. Here comes the 2-1 from Deppery. As that'll be lined towards right. Larson underneath it for out number 2. As this will bring up Dan Blickman. Blickman so far here today, a single in the 1st and then a fly out to 1st in the 3rd. Ribbons are having some action in their arm barn. As this will be pop foul and out of play. This most likely will be Depre's inning, but it will be interesting to see if they go with Dylan Heyer, who is currently warming up for the 7th inning. Depre ready. Here's the 0-2. Zell skipping the dirt. Gerber is not able to keep it in front of him. Depre trying to prove to the coaches that he can take the 7th inning. Here's the 1-2 from Depre. Inside. Count is 2-2. Pitch to Blickman. Will be grounded to third. Throw to first will be in time. Bornick able to get back to the base after having to step off to grab it. But more importantly, the inning is over. No runs across here in the top of the 6th. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, you're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 6th here at Joannes Park. Brian Gerber's Boone Kirst and James Bornick. Those are your due up for the Ribbons here in the bottom of the 6th. Ribbons added 2 to tie this game up in the bottom of the 5th. Now looking to get something started here, as that will be a strike to Gerbers. Gerbers struck out looking in the 1st and then flew out to right in the 4th. It was directly to the right fielder, Connor Gabor. This will be popped up, foul, and out of play. Count now 0-2. Pitcher ready. Here's the 0-2. As that will be blooped towards short and caught. As it will be 1 down for Boone Kirst. Nick Searid warming up in the arm barn for Addison. He might just be warming up just in case. Just in case Nick Tinajero gets into any trouble, as that'll be in there for a strike. Only person who has been Tinajero's dynamite so far has been Boone Kirst, who is at the dish, as that will miss the zone for a ball. Only Ribbon with multiple hits in this game. Lots of Ribbons with none at all. Here's the 1-1. As that'll be high, but in the zone for strike 2. Kirst in the box. As here comes the 1-2 pitch. As that'll be lined to the second baseman for out number 2. 2 down now for James Bornick. Bornick kind of having an off season. Batting under 200 so far. Currently finds himself 0-2 for the day, with a flyout to short and a strikeout looking. He's had some pretty good swings, though. He's had a couple of them go foul. That would have been dangerous if they were just a few feet to the left. Bornick staring at an 0-1. The pitch. That will find the zone for strike 2. Tinajero trying to send this to the final frame, tied at 2. As he comes set, the pitch to Bornick. That'll be a liner towards right. Getting a bad jump on it was the right fielder, Gabor. Bornick rounding first, heading for second, as he will get in standing with a double. Ribbons went from almost down and out to now threatening with a runner at second, as Wilson Zuck will come to the dish. Zuck reached on an error in the second. It was also part of a fielder's choice, so it didn't go down as an error, so they're going to call it a fielder's choice. It was a pop-up that came out of the second baseman's glove. He was able to reach, but they still got an out at second to get Boone Kirst. This is going to be popped up, going deeper than I thought it was. Warning track wall, but making the catch will be the center fielder for out number 3. Ribbons threatened late, but weren't able to get any across. We're still tied at 2 as we head to the final frame. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Final frame here at Joannes Park here for Game 1. Make sure to tune in for Game 2. That will start about 30 minutes after this game's conclusion. 2-2 ball game as the Ribbons head to the Arm Barn. Dylan Heyer will make his first appearance here at Joannes Park. he will have to face Connor Gabor, as it will start with a ball. Gabor has struck out twice. Higher, very local guy, played high school ball at Bayport, as this will be popped up. Giving chase will be Milo Upton, as he'll make the catch for out number 1. This will bring up Frank Lavin. But went to high school at Bayport. Currently going to college at St. Norbert. Not the tallest guy on team, standing at 5'11". That'll be fouled off. He made his collegiate debut pitching 1 scoreless inning of relief against Central Iowa. That was on March 1st of this year. As that will find the zone for strike 2. He struck out 5 batters over 3 innings against SUNY Cobleskill. Not a school I've personally heard of. But this is why we do research. He made 13 appearances as a reliever, as a freshman. As this will be grounded towards third, it will go foul. He has played in a few road games. But now finally making his grand appearance here at the Joe. As that'll be lined towards center. Camping underneath it is Vandehei, as he misjudged it a little bit, but still able to make the catch for out number 2. This will bring up Josh Conniff.
Number 2, Josh.
Conniff, so far here in game 1, hit it to a double play in the 2nd, and then flew out to right in the 4th. First pitch to him will miss the zone for a ball. Conniff in the box. The 1-0 from Higher. In there for a strike. Got him at 1-1. As here's the pitch from Dylan Higher. As that'll be high for ball 2. Warming up in the Ribbons Arm Barn is Landon Rago. Probably more if this game goes into extras, as that'll be a strike from Higher. Ribbons trying to claw back in this game after being down 2. Have tied it up. Now we're trying to get through the 7th, as that will miss the zone. Higher thought he had it. Count now full. As he comes set, the 3-2. As that'll be lined a second, jumping catch from Peyton Conley to end the inning. Conley making a good catch over there at second. We head to the bottom half of the 7th, tied at 2. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 7th here at Joannes Park. Eason Hurd, Milo Upton, and Sawyer Larson. Those are your due up here in the 7th. Hopefully the final frame here as the Ribbons look to walk it off for the second time in this 4-game series. First pitch will be high, but it will find the zone for strike 1. Hurd flew out to center in the 2nd, then had a single and came around to score in the 5th. The 0-1 will hit him. Trotting down to first is Eason Hurd, as this will bring up Milo Upton. Hurd over there at first currently represents the winning run. As with the doubleheader, it will be 7-inning games. And trying to bring him home is Milo Upton, or at least move him over. Upton ready at the dish. First pitch to him. It's going to be high and in, gets away. Hurd going to round second, most likely going to stay as he will. As that now puts the winning run in scoring position. Nick Tinajero still on the mound for the Braves as time's going to be called. Brian Price going over the signs once again over at third. First base playing in. Here's the 1-0. Square around a bunt. Pulls it back. It was a ball. First base anticipating the bunt once again. Here's the 2-0. Squares around real early. Gets it down, but it will go foul. Ribbon's not much of a bunting team. Their best bunter, at least through my eyes and my experience here on the team, has been Jake Potasic, who is not in the lineup and is currently on the injured list. As this will be swinging away, it's a high fly ball to deep right, not able to get to it. Rounding third, heading for home is Hurd. Throw is not going to happen as the Ribbons walk it off in the 7th. Milo Upton with a double to right center will end the game and will give the Ribbons a 3-2 victory here in Game 1. Make sure to tune in for Game 2, which will start in just about a half an hour. If for any reason you can't stick around for Game 2, feel free to come back anytime that there's a game. Join us on Wednesday as we do the 3rd reschedulement of Youth Night against the Manitowoc Bandits. That game will start at 7:30. It will also be a night where Stubborn Brothers is in attendance, handing out samples. So enjoy samples of their beverages and just have a nice, enjoyable day at the ballpark. 3-2 here in Game 1. Ribbons, take it. We'll be back in about half an hour for Game 2. If you can't make it, make sure to celebrate. Celebrate well. Do things responsibly. And no matter what you do, do it for the Ribs.